Alright, everybody, we are back and just about ready to go with our next run. It will be Labryz 06, or Lab for short. We'll be doing Sonic the Hedgehog, and I had to have people remind me when I was picking the runs that, oh yes, this is the Sonic game I think it is. The game name's a little bit longer than the last one, so let me smush that text box just a little bit. Still readable, I think. Not that we all don't know it's Sonic the Hedgehog. So yeah, I think everything's set up just fine, and I will now toss it on over to Lab. Take it away, Lab.
Hello, I'm Labryz, or Lab, you can call me Lab, it works. And this is Sonic 06, Sonic All Stages. Normally this game is a broken mess, but we make it even more of a broken mess in All Stages due to upgrade Sonic gets very late in the game, namely the gems. There's a whole bunch of crazy major skips that are possible in the last two levels because of the gems, but now they get to take them back through every single level that we can. So, without further adu, time starts when I hit the normal thing on the menu. And I'll give you a countdown and we'll go. 3, 2, 1, go. So first up, we have Aquatic Base. I do the stages backwards because of upgrade reasons. This is how you would do it in the story run. The first gem that you're going to see a lot of is the blue gem. The blue gem gives me a short burst of movement whenever I use it, and are generally faster than taking those dash right there. All you need to know about the white gem there is that it just makes doors not exist. It's useful for that. Throw this robot here. You're seeing me doing the spin kick a lot. Not only does it preserve speed, but it prevents me from like bonking into walls, like you saw by that door there. Coming up, we're going to have the first major skip of the run, product based skip. And we're going to use my favorite upgrade ever, the Sky Gem. We use it to clip up here, and then throw it to a room where normally Shadow and Silver spawn. Alright, got it. Then we clip out here. Sky Gem is a portable grappling hook. You throw it somewhere and you get yoinked to wherever you throw it. So, this is a more visible example. And we're at the end of the section. We skipped about 2 minutes of gameplay and a bunch of stuff is Tails. Sorry, Tails. We don't play you in the run. Now, coming up is probably the more... Something I'll go for once is called Knuckle Skip. We skip playing Knuckles in Aquatic Base, and it stays about 5 seconds. Usually in the story run, only like top runners would do this. I am not a top runner, but I run a category that does this first. So we'll go for it once. It's a series of 2 Sky Gem throws that basically skip the entirety of Knuckles section. Oh nice, I'm inside the door. That can happen sometimes. Click through that door. To be big. Ah, okay. I'll live with it. Yeah, I'll take the checkpoint. I'll go for it one more time. That was almost good. Come on. Sonic. Woo, okay. Normally it's not that tight, but we'll take it. And then here's Sky Gem Toss number 2. And we made it. That's Knuckle Skip. And we switched from us to us. Very intended. Oh, pipe? Oh, thank God. That pipe can end you, and it almost did me, but you're just running into it, and then you lose all your air momentum. One last white gem clip. and down this final hallway. Oop. And because of that skip, and hopefully one more knuckle skip later down the line, the needle here, we play as nobody but Sonic in this entire category. And that's Aquatic Base. Coming up, we have Kingdom Valley, which is one of the more technical stages in the game. Also, probably the longest casually. We're supposed to play as Silver here in section number 2, but we don't. So stay tuned. So instead of going forward and taking a path all the way down, I'm just going to, you know, have at least resistance. You do have the blue gem for this level, but you don't have the sky gem. So you get to boost all over the place, but you don't get to do nice little shenanigans like this. I'll go for this once. Nice.
Let's try going up.
And then normally the eagle takes you to the loading trigger over there, but we're do-it-yourselfers. We can just chuck Sky Gem in a wall. It just kind of works. Now here, an eagle would drop us to an area that would make us switch to silver, and we'd have to play silver. But we're fast. Fastest thing alive, so why bother? So you can just jump off early. Do a little bit of high-stakes platforming. And you basically skip the entirety of Silver section. Silver's supposed to play here. You're going to do a Sky Gem toss over yonder. Nice. And then we're going to hit this trigger that Silver would normally hit.
Hey, not bad.
Thanks, me. Really a game of me, myself, and I. Sonic being so self-centered at all. This next strat, we're gonna jump off the eagle again. This next strat is a very old strat that's sort of revived for all stages because it's kind of a recent category extension. Kind of like Parax 8, I don't know, 2010. So we're gonna homing attack off to the left here. And we're gonna chuck the Sky Gem over yonder. And that will save us some time. We will skip some required combat and a little bit of automation. Make our way through these rails here. You can do a little skip, a rope skip. Throwing it at that little ledge of the wall. And about that post. Okay, we're good. And this is one of those like sections that just don't age. Look at this. 2006? Still looks nice. Nice jam. We're gonna use White Gem to make one more door just not exist. We're going to be careful not to fall off here. And then we're going to use the final gem we take. The purple gem. The purple gem is supposed to make you tiny, but if you activate it while in the air, you can just keep jumping for some reason. I can't explain it. This game was rushed. I don't know what the spur of the moment decisions. And yes, this is an incredibly fun run. Then we're gonna spin dash blue gem. Nice. Getting that clip like just kind of instantly like that is very satisfying and kind of hard to do. I'm glad I got it. Coming up is the first Mach Speed section. This is a section of gameplay where you are going fast, whether you like it or not. So what we're gonna do is use these light dash trails not only to stabilize ourselves, but if you hold neutral, or not a direction while you're doing a light dash, you're going to keep that speed until you hold a direction. And that's called hitting speed 3. Speed 1 being with his arms out, speed 2 being with his arms in, like this, but not being boosted by speed 3. And speed 3 being when you're light dashing, or just after. So yeah, there's 4 of these in the Sonic campaign that we're going to see, including this one. Goes into this last little automation section. And that's an ILPV. Nice!
Just ate it.
It's a very good Kingdom Valley from me. Coming up, we have something a little more dialed down. We have Tropical Jungle. Tropical Jungle is one of the first levels, one of 2, where you hold this flotation / plot device in your arms, and you can create this neat bubble force field that enables you to walk on water, retextured or not retextured, and deal damage, sort of by running into things. Unfortunately, she also takes away most of your upgrades, including the gems, so it's a lot more platforming. Now those pink vines, they have a tendency to kill you. If you take your advice and jump when the bud glows. Sometimes they will just eat your homing attack, and then you will fall into the abyss lifelessly, and it's kind of sad. And yes, we are getting out of the cave. Gonna do some platforming here. Some grinding. Gonna skip this robot if I can. And it's probably faster. Sonic Adventure 2 moment, anybody? Okay. Coming up, we're going to do a first of a couple of angled surface clips. This one's called Log Clip because it's a log and you clip through it. You have this little baseball slide move where you can kind of knock through enemies, kind of slide through them. If you use it on a tilted surface, you can just clip through it. And so that's used in a couple other places, as we're going to see throughout the run. But that one's particularly useful. It stays about 10 seconds. Gives one of the most painful lines and automation sections in the game. Now what I'm going to be doing a lot here is looking down. Looking down is fast here. Take some time because if you look up, there is a lot going on. Okay, maybe I can look up here. Yeah. Also, banger alert. And 149, nice. It's a pretty good time, not gonna lie.
I'm so happy.
Listen to her. Listen to that plot device. Before that, you're trying to save said plot device in Rapid Train. He is on a train that is about to run into several batches of explosive crates. You have to hit a switch to blow up the crates before the train gets there. That's the gimmick of the level.
Son, shouldn't you save the train before chasing after me?
We're gonna do that. So the first switch is right over here. You slide under this door. It kind of breaks speed cap like we do with Speed 3. Oh, please don't get launched off the loop. Okay, we're good. By spin dashing at a dash panel, that's definitely faster than we're supposed to be going, but if you hold neutral, it's fine. Also, we like platforming, but not that much, so we're gonna do it. Nice, that was a very clean conveyor skip. Go through this little automation sequence. Oop.
I'll be able to move faster if I go
do a tiny little sky gem trick that sometimes those things are super glue. I don't know what I just homing attacked off of. I'll just deal with it. Nice. And then you can spin dash clip through right here. So you can skip the final switch and leave her to her ultimate fate, which is being alive, because that's how games work. You finished the level. Congratulations. Up here we have the second Mach Speed section in the game.
Uh-oh, gotta speed up.
You take a giant speed 3 jump there. It just looks cool. Actually no, it's useful. You're going to take a giant speed 2 jump here to avoid those jump panels, and it's going to save about 5 seconds. Now, you can see exactly how fast speed 3 goes when you can see the train rubber band. After I light dash here, the train is actually trying to go away because we're going so fast. Well, these ain't bad.
Too easy.
That's right as a thing. Now, Flame Core is usually a very exciting level. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but you only have the first 2 upgrades, the light dash and the aforementioned baseball slide called the anti-gravity. Fortunately, we have our little buddy, the purple gem, so that's going to be a familiar thing here in this first section. So instead of taking the loop, we're just going to jump over here and save some time.
Gotta be careful not to fall off here. If I use a homing attack on that monster, I'll be able to reach the other side.
We're going to do another one of those angled surface clips here. At least try to. Come on, Sonic. And there are no kill planes out here, so we can just kind of go around the level. Now you may ask, like, what's the gauge for it? Like, I see the icon in the bottom right. What's the gauge for it? Well, the gauge is actually supposed to work. It's just that they named a variable 2 different things in 2 different places, and since that happens, for gem costs, so your gems cost nothing to use, and it's great. And those 3 little icons right below the gem, those are supposed to be gem level ups. We never knew what quite the plan was for that one. They change your shoes and it's kind of funny. Magical gems. I'm gonna go... Oh, wait, why is there an invisible wall there? Okay. I've never hit that invisible wall in my life. I'm gonna just go straight over here. Hopefully we don't get hit by a Cocoa Puff on the way down, and it'll be fun. Absolutely intended. So... this is gonna get some Sonic Adventure 2 speedrun vibes, if you've ever seen that run. So, apparently, being on an angled surface in general changes what direction up and down is for you. And since the bounce bracelet goes directly down, if you stand on an angled surface and clip through it, you can do shit like this. Oop, I said a word. It's amazing. Just skip a bunch of platforming. And then here's the second knuckle skip that I promised without. We did this giant sky gem launch. I lied. I'm gonna go with the back of trap and... you use Knuckles. Well, you're supposed to turn on those 5 pink purple orbs there. But what you can do is just kind of climb up here, the strat you do in the story. Jump out, go around the kill plane. Yeah. Now you want to launch into that tunnel with the sky gem, but it's a pretty good flame core without the knuckle skip. So we got Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 and Knuckles, I suppose, just for the one time. Crisis City is probably one of the longest stages in the run. Also, next to Kingdom Valley. Also has 4 sections, the first of which is one of the first boarding sections of the game. Naturally, you can also sort of break this a bit. You can see the speed I'm going at now, it's kind of slow. But if you jump off a ramp, but then like clip the edge of a ramp before you land on the other side, you can go much faster than intended. And that trick right there, that one in particular is called DSS speed, named after the runner Dark Brand Sonic. Shout out to Dark Brand Sonic for finding a lot of stuff in this and many other modern Sonic games. Crazy guy. A visionary. Oh, that was an accident. Lost my DSS speed. Now we're gonna have to do this semi-normally. Sonic? Fine. The full DSS speed gets you like 45s and saves about 15 seconds over doing it normally. It's kind of how absurdly fast you go. Now, we've seen homing attacks connect pretty much all the time. What if you whiff one? The answer is you just keep going. And that's Rail Shoot Back. That's a very tiny example of one. We're gonna see a much larger one later in the run.
The whole city's on fire.
You get that, Sonic. You said that in section 1. We're gonna do something I found not too long ago. Where you, instead of going around to the left, go around to the right here. And Skyjump. We love Skyjump. Here, in this house, we stand Skyjump. And it's just going to be a bit more platforming. And some purple gem abuse. Skipping that little section of platforming there. The FPS. It's gone. Goodbye. Coming up at section 3, you are inside a wind tunnel with debris in it? I don't know. I just don't. So you're just trying to navigate through all this debris. I almost died. And that homing attaching birds in this quick time event sequence. We're at it. Now comes the part where the tornado is carrying a car, as Sonic will indicate. And this is absolute nightmare for casual players. Thankfully, with our total speed 3, we can generally stay ahead of the tornado. Generally. So left at this pipe, we can jump here. Gast is correct. It can be a nightmare for speedrunners, because if you get behind, these cars are not random, so you can generally stay ahead of them and predict where they're going to be. But oh, I'm gonna S-rank. That's fine. I think I have an S-rank on this file. So I was worried about S-ranking because of my ring count. Look at the juicy frames.
That was incredible.
So it technically is faster not to get hit, unless you don't have an S-rank on the file, in which I do. If I didn't have an S-rank, I would have to sit through about 6 seconds of a gold medal animation, which is bad. Coming up, we actually have an actual. Yes, by hand. You can do that during the results. We have an actual snowboarding section. This is the first one of the game.
Press and hold the A button as long as you can, and release it right at the jump ramp.
And I am crouching all the time because if you run into a wall while crouching, you just uncrouch. That's all that happens. If you run into a wall while standing, that happens. Or you just flip over. Kind of slow and uncontrollable. Now coming up, we're going to do another jump trigger thing, but it's a little more not obvious. I think we got it. Called Shower Speed. Also a crazy aisle runner of many Sonic games, not just 06. Then we have a little Indiana Jones moment here. Normally you're supposed to be forced to jump here, but since you're so fast after that trick, you can just sort of slide in there. Coming up is a section that should take 3 minutes, but it takes about, I don't know, like 30 seconds. What you do is usually, casually, you're going to go around to the bush, play some Tails, so practice Sonic, play some more Sonic.
This is a pretty cold place for a base.
But perimeter defenses aren't great, and you can clip those lasers with a homing attack. Ooh, okay. And then we sky gem up there, and that's the level. 114, that's good. That's really good.
Too easy. No sweat.
This one is really nice, bar the slight mishap in the aquatic base in Clingful. Coming up is the second of two Bubble Buddy levels. Where instead of the water, it's quicksand, but it's actually still water, it's just retextured. If you do it wrong, you can actually hear it go sploosh. Not kidding.
Elise, hold on tight.
This is a very simple level to speedrun. You just generally run down hills and homing attack up them. That's basically all the movement areas. You go through a loop here, and then make a cut to our left. Yes, I saw that in the chat. No. You can do another homing attack with, that goes into a chain jump trigger. But that's called Char Loop. But that's a bit too risky for my tastes. Usually when people get into speedrunning, I teach them this level first because it's just very easy, very straightforward platforming, gets you used to a couple basic mechanics, but not the whole shebang. And then you homing attack to the rest of the section. You get a 106. And that's Dusty Desert. Bye, Louise. We don't care about you. And now for the final level of the run, Wave Ocean. This is quite trivializing. Now you've seen all this stuff before. You've seen the Sky Gem, you've seen the Blue Gem, you've seen the homing attack list. Now let's put it all together in one wonderful little segment. First thing I'm gonna do is buffer and hold A, so I can at least try to. So I can jump out of that first dash panel. Oh no.
Hurry and save Elise.
Jump over those dash panels so you can land on the side of this loop. And loops are like rails. They're like little curves that you can homing attack to. So I'm gonna pause buffer this homing attack and ooh, that was really low. Nice. And now we're in Shadow's unused section. Well, Shadow is supposed to have a jump panel here. We can skip. We can fix that. And then normally we get flung by an Orca into the gate after Tails hits the switch kind of nearby. Am I going to overshoot it again? Nope. Okay, we're good. That was really low. Like, normally the less height you have on that wall, the better. So you can fall down faster and run. And that was really low. Woo. Now for our final Moxie section of the game. I'm going to use this time to thank everyone in the L6 community for helping me out over the last year. I'm kind of a newer runner, but they've been of great help. Thank you to Gas, thank you to Focus, thank you to basically everyone in the L6 community. Thank you to Liam for commentating this run last time. Or rather AAA, depending on who you ask. If you want to try your hand at this game, we are always looking for new runners. Speedrun.com/Sonic06. There is a Discord in the left-hand side. And we hit the left side of this loop to avoid dying. And you get to jump. Okay, we don't get to jump. You can jump over that jump panel to save a couple seconds. And time ends when I hit the last save prompt.
Too easy. No sweat.
And time. And no Gas, this was not a PB, but this was a sub 30, so it was a good run. It was a very good run. Wait, I was comparing against some of the best. It was +5 on PB because of how long I took to. So yeah, that's Sonic All Stages. I have a couple other things I can show off if there's time, because I know I put in an estimate that was much longer than what this run eventually took. Some bosses, some other hedgehogs, some wonderful glitches. I have a teeny glitch exhibition. Alright, 2 or 3 minutes. I can do 2 or 3 minutes. Let's see what to show off. A lot of we've seen a lot of level invalidation, but it's hard to do boss invalidation. Let's show off everywhere. Except if you go for a Wyvern. Wyvern is usually one of the shortest bosses in the run, but it's one of the hardest bosses casually. We got it. Okay, we didn't get shoot up, but the boss is over now. Trust me. But what's happening is Wyvern is flying off into the distance. We're supposed to hang on to him for dear life while we control him and steering into these falling bombs. That'll do one hit. But then we just win. I still can't fully describe why that happens.
That was incredible.
But it is incredible. Thank you, Sonic. There's a couple other things. You just win. It's just that easy. So one of the more painful things is just messing up that trick in a run. I can show up a different spawn. If I miss it, I'm not gonna worry about it. But we can also despawn bosses instead of the boss being far away from us. We can also despawn bosses being far away from the boss in general. Because this guy's not gonna move. Now Shadow's a bit different. He does not have a spin dash, but he has a homing attack that goes really absurdly long. So that is your main mode of movement.
I can't do anything from here. I need to find some way to draw.
So we're going to use this Chaos Sphere, which is just done by holding the X button in the air. And it allows us to hover indefinitely, and we're going to use that to our advantage. So we're going to let it hit us into one of these rings.
Watch out, Shadow. If
something that big.
Okay, I didn't get it. But eventually, you can just clip out of bounds, keep going, fall for about 21.5 seconds, suspend yourself in midair, and then you just win. Because the boss kind of keeps track of where you are, and it kind of shows up. And he appears below you, in what you position yourself to be is just above out of bounds. You just win. So if you are in the business of just winning, and kind of are interested in Sonic games in general, I highly recommend trying to run this game. It is a very different experience from your usual Sonic game. Any parting words? Shoutouts again to William, Focus, Gas, everyone in the 06 community that's helped me out. Nick. Shoutouts to the Xbox Live demo of 06, which got me hooked. I remember playing that back as a kid for hours. Just the demo, which was like the first bit of Kingdom Valley, and it was even more broken than this game, Kingdom Valley. So yeah, this is definitely a game for the 360 that is definitely stuck with me. And I hope you guys have other wonderful Xbox runs soon, and I know there's a couple really interesting ones planned in the futures that I'm going to have my eye on.
Alright, thank you so much for that run. That was a lot of fun, and it actually did something that doesn't always happen for me, and when I watch or certainly host speedrun marathons, it made me actually want to play the game, because it definitely looks broken, but broken can be a lot of fun. It looked fun, the graphics, like you were saying, looked awesome for a 2006 game. And yeah, I really enjoyed that, and stick with us. We'll